Yo, what is up, people? I don't know why I'm here. I decided, you know what? I'm off today. And hang on a minute. No. Don't want you cleaning, buddy. There we go. Don't start. No, come here. Look at this guy. It's the new guy right here. Yeah, you can't come up here. You know why? Go on, get down. Go. Idiot. All right, so if you guys have questions, leave them right now. I'm going to do like half an hour of just talking bollocks, to be honest. And if you have anything you want to discuss, let me know, okay? Because that's what I plan on doing. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Let me know. Thumbs up. So yeah, let me know what you guys want to talk about. I mean, look, obviously I went to PES League, and I'll tell you what, it was fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It is a very, it's honorable for me to go. You know what I mean? It's a big step for me. This time last year, I hadn't done anything, and now since December, I've been to Liverpool, I've been to Portugal, I've been to Mexico. And then I went to London. So it's been, you know, it's been fantastic. Really is. And the group of lads we work with is phenomenal. The whole team is great. And a lot of people, let me tell you this much right now. I read a lot of comments about PES League, and it's always like, why is everyone playing on Pass Support 2, Pass Support 3? Trust me, if you actually went there, you know, I've played against some of these people, the professionals, the esport pros. Even if I put it on Pass Support 3, I would get absolutely annihilated. They know the ins and outs of PES. They know what works. They know how to make players make non-stop runs. Someone like Eterito, as Macabao as you won it, they are ridiculous at the game. It's a fact. It doesn't matter what Pass Support you play on. In fact, playing on 2 and 3 sometimes, talking to Alex Agasil, who is Spanish and is also a pro, he said sometimes playing on 2 and 3 support, you actually lose out because you don't have as much freedom. So you have to be very sort of active off the ball. Players have to be making runs left, right, center. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say about it. It looks easier when you're watching it on stream, but it isn't. But try it yourself. Anyway, let me just run through some of these comments here. So Frisky Flash says, how does pace feel this time around? Honestly, the pace of what I played of PES 2020 was really nice. It was like they dumbed it down, and a lot of people have said the same thing. You have this element of having time on the ball, okay? You actually have the ball. You've got a bit of space. You can do things with it without sort of being closed down, you know, and it becomes a cluster, you know what I mean? Cluster F-bomb. When you kind of play PES 2019 and it's just ticker, and it's too fast. But PES 2020, I think pace-wise, very good. Now, will it stay that way? Apparently, talking to Barry, obviously the Midnight Kid as well, he said it has been sped up a tiny bit from the build that I played to the build that was shown with Manchester United. But that's down to animations being sort of tweaked, enhanced, things... You know, everything's sort of gelling together. Even Adam Batty spoke about they are trying to work out, or not work out, but fix sort of the animations between like dribbling to shooting. And when you enhance those and polish those up, it does make the game a little bit quicker. So it's going to be slightly faster. I just hope they don't go crazy, because don't do it. Everyone's happy with the speed. Leave it alone. That's all I'm going to say. But pace-wise, I did like it. Let's have a look here. See what you guys are saying. What are you most worried about in PES 2020? From Liam T, Mr. Liam himself, who's been around a while. So, hello. I think generally for me, right, I'm not online player. You guys know that. I'm offline. So for me, what I'm worried most about is probably just the AI in general. And I really hope that they've fixed and addressed certain things that we see time and time again. Now, I'm not expecting, this is the way I look at it. Don't go into PES 2020 expecting this to be the game that has no problems, 100% works, phenomenally well offline, and there's no glitches. There's going to be problems with the amount of coding done these days, how sort of developed games are compared to 10 years ago. There's going to be issues. But my main problem or main worry is probably the AI. I play on Superstar. I'm not worried about top player, professional. I don't care. Other people do, so it's not fair to say that. But I don't want to play against the AI and it becomes boring and it becomes monotonous and it's the same thing over and over. I don't want it. So my main problem or worry is probably the AI. So I hope Konami work on them. And really, I think this year, Konami have sort of understood the fact that a lot of people love Master League. A lot of people, they want a really solid offline as well as online. You pretty much got two demographics here. You've got offline players, you've got online players. The online players want good servers, peer-to-peer connection that works, non-laggy gameplay, and no scripting, right? And then people offline want a smooth game with good AI, team ID, player ID, all working together. That's kind of the balance that you have with PES. So there we go. Sorry, my answer's always long. We have another one here from Ali who says, what's your gym routine? My gym routine is literally go in the gym and just work out. I don't really have a routine. I work out twice a week maximum. I'm lazy. It's bad to say that, but I am when it comes to working out. Although we've got some BCAAs going here. So, all right. Rich Franklin was saying, brilliant, you deserve it, and the Midnight Kid. Well, thank you very much. I do try. And there are a lot of people in the community that do fantastic things. Honestly, the modded community of PES, downright amazing. They do amazing, amazing stuff. James McVicker says, any news on new licenses? Well, obviously, Manchester United were announced. There are a couple more being announced this month. That's all I'm going to say. I do know who they are, but I can't mention them. So, unfortunately, I can't state anything because otherwise Konami will probably eat me for breakfast. Laughing Hyena, I wonder why you don't take this time to rest. I'm rested up. I'm good. I'm going to the gym in a bit. So I thought I'd just quickly do this for a little bit of fun. William Martin, is PES 2020 better than 13, PES 6? How was the keepers? That's the thing. I didn't play it long enough to give you guys my assessment on that. I mean, look, at the end of the day, PES 2020 is going to be better than 13 and 6 when it comes to animations, when it comes to the pace of the game and all that. We've got better and better. The thing is, when you play PES 13 and PES 6, I felt like the AI was better, right? They were a little bit smarter, more diversity in the way they scored. I think that's the problem we've had now, is PES has become, AI-wise, kind of boring. And I really hope they sort that out. And look, remember, back in 13 and 6, there was no online, so no one could complain about it. It was purely offline, so Konami could focus everything offline. Now, they obviously have to focus on both. The GOAT says, what's your current thoughts on PES 20 Master League? I've seen snippets of it, I will say that much. And it's certainly better than what we have now. The menu's changed a little bit. By the way, I know people have shown the menus of Master League. I've seen sort of things on Twitter. I think there was one with like Aguero on the left. That's not right. Okay, don't think that's the Master League menu. Someone's made that. Unless it's officially from Konami, don't believe anything you hear or see. Like, I wouldn't come up and post a picture of Master League and say, look, this is the Master League menu. It's not. Just wait for it. But from what I've seen, it does seem better. It's the way they have it this year is missions are set up slightly different. I mean, I can't state anything right now, and I can't talk about what new stuff, whatever's been shown. That's pretty much it. But you're going to get a chance to play with obviously the legends if you want. Maradona's in there, Zico. That was Zico. Was it Zico? Cruyff? Can't remember. There's 3 that's been named. There's going to be more that are going to be announced. Who are they? I don't know. but they will be released later. Or you can create your own guy, which is a nice added touch. And also in the Master League, the edit mode, you can actually go in edit mode now and add your own sponsors. And those sponsors will show up behind. So you're having an interview, behind you on the board is going to be all the sponsors you put. A nice little addition. Subtle things like that. But yeah, I can't wait to try it. Really can't. I think Master League is something that they do need to improve, and hopefully they will. Okay, let's have a look here. Any more? JC King says, are you buying the Legend edition of PES 2020? I might. I'm hoping to get an early copy of the game. I really would like an early copy of the game. I never really seem to get one. But I will probably buy it either way. I do like to support the developers. I don't buy a whole lot of games nowadays. So when I do buy a game, I don't torrent it anymore. I used to. I'm not going to lie. Way back in the day, I did. But you grow up and there's no need for it. I support the developers. I'll pay for it. But I might get the Legend Edition. We'll wait and see. Bargav Gadurer says, what about Become a Legend? Any updates? No idea. There's been no talk about Become a Legend. I would expect Become a Legend to be very similar to Master League in sort of the menu structure, but I don't know if there's going to be anything else that's sort of added. I don't know. They haven't even spoke about it. I honestly, it's becoming to the point now where Become a Legend is becoming redundant, and they very well might just scrap it. I used to like playing it, but it's just become boring. So there we go. Lewis Clay, you ever heard of Grimsby Town, TTB? I have heard of Grimsby Town. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Can't say I've been there, but I have heard of them. Let's have a look here. Vipkav Samaga, have you considered replacing Martin Tyler? Because your commentary entertains me a lot. Well, thank you. No, look, I enjoy commentating. It's why I started doing it. And where will I go in the future? I've no idea. You know, I'm 31 now. I'm not exactly old. And I just enjoy commentating. So we'll see what happens. I will continue to do YouTube. I love doing it. Honestly, I'll tell you this much. I had a match yesterday, for those that watch my Master League. The Copa del Rey match coming up, probably not tomorrow. It's probably going to come out Sunday, is ridiculous. Probably the best game I've played on PES so far, maybe. Stay tuned for that. It's an absolute belter. So that's the Copa del Rey Sunday. That should be out. Parazino says, will Konami fix the height of players? Do you mean the cutscene? See, someone said about that, and they said that the problem with the height difference was something to do with like the mocap, and that clipping would occur because, you know, if you have someone like who's massive, Van Dijk, and then you've got Salah, obviously he's like a foot smaller than him, there would be clipping problems when they sort of hug each other or tap heads. So maybe that's true. If it is, then no, that's not going to be addressed. But whatever. At this point, no, look, I've stopped nitpicking when it comes to stuff like that because there's just no point. You know, just get the gameplay right and enjoy it, and try to enjoy it pretty much. Let's have a look. What else do we have? I'm just going to scroll through. I'm probably going wrong way here. Okay, I've already read that one. Okay, yes, done that as well. If I've missed your question, just put it down again. I'll try and do my best. Mohammed Giapri says, what is your favorite team to use in PES 2019? Favorite team? And that's the thing. I don't use many teams because you pretty much have seen my Master League with Manchester United. Then I've got one with Real Madrid now. So I don't use a ton. Actually, at PES League, I was playing Paul, the host, and I'm going to rub it in his face that I beat him 4-0. Although he did beat me the first game, I won the next two. But I played as Napoli and actually quite enjoyed playing as Napoli. You know, Koulibaly, Insigne, they've got some quality players. So, yeah, I kind of like teams that have a bit of a range. You know, they've got some height, but they've got some speed. They're good at the back. Defending in PES isn't easy. So, Yeah, I don't know. Napoli was. I do like playing as Italian teams. I used to play with Roma a lot back in the day. Back in PES 3, 4, Roma with Totti was my team. Let's have a look here. I mean, Kamlesh Malik says anything about offline AI. No, that's the thing. We don't know. I mean, you can look at videos, and I said this in one of my videos was that I don't look. I could milk it right now, and I'll be honest with you, I could. I could take people's videos or cut them down, talk over them, and analyze videos over and over again, and get way more views than my Master League series. But there's no point. You know what I mean? Like, there really isn't. You know, the Manchester United license that was shown was a newer build. The only two teams there, I believe, was Manchester United and the PES Legends, and you could only play at Old Trafford. So what am I going to do? Sit here and analyze the same games over and over and over again? There's no point. I'll get the demo, I'll play it, and then I can start talking about the AI. And that won't be the full build, but it'll be close to the final product. I really hope Konami you know what Konami need to do? Create a forum specifically for the demo, and any problems, any issues that we have. Oh, this isn't working. The goalie's been doing this, or the AI aren't clinical enough, or they are too clinical. We can go in there, leave a comment. Konami take it on board, and then hopefully post-patch, they fix the problems. Remember last year, guys? Remember PES 2019 when it came out? I mean, you couldn't even play Master League because of the problems there was. The goalies didn't come out. They kept having the low cross bug. It was a big problem. So, yeah, Konami really need to try and get something going with the demo and make sure they get our feedback, take it on board. They've done a better job of it, and go from there. Because they have. Listen, look, Konami could have ignored us. This year, they've added a brand new camera. Obviously, the one I kind of was using in my Master League. They've added that in there. They've slowed the pace down from what we can see. So, you know, they are listening. Just need to keep doing what they can. Okay. Derek the Diverse Collector says, are you the new commentator in the game? Is that why you were traveling? No, the reason I was traveling was for PES League, and I was doing the commentary there. So, no, I haven't been contacted by Konami to do any of the commentary. And to be honest with you, would I want to do the commentary for PES? You guys would be sick and tired of my voice if you heard me every single game. Honestly, I haven't turned the commentary on in PES for probably about 5 years. I just don't bother. Okay. Some of you guys saying I love your content. Well, thank you very much. I love you guys watching it, because without you watching, there's no point me doing it. Let's have a look here. What else do we have? Who will win the Champions League? Who knows, you know? It depends. We'll have to wait and see. Who really buys some key players? I mean, you got to favorite the can't talk. You got to favor the favorites. So you're talking about, well, Barcelona will be up there, although they've been disappointing. Liverpool are a threat. I mean, they've just come out of nowhere and they continue. Tottenham have made some pretty good signings so far. Picked up Dembele, as we know him from my Master League. So I don't think Tottenham are going to do what they did again this year, though. It was very, I don't know, lucky for them, maybe. But it could do. You never know. Real Madrid could bounce back. Juventus have picked up some players, so they could be a threat. Manchester United, no, they're not in it. Embarrassing, really is, Man United. Oh, man. I could talk all day about Manchester United. It's just madness. All right, let's see here. Defensive jockeying too slow. This is actually a good point. Mike Morris, defensive jockeying too slow in 19. Does 20 differ? Now, this was the thing. I played the game briefly, 2020, as I keep stating. And the defending was still quite difficult. And it is because of that fact that, they still do need to, I think, speed up the switching, the player switching. I'll get the controller out here. Get out of here. The player switching with the L1. There's still... It needs to be a little bit quicker. And, actually, Pezep, Seppo, as you guys know, had a good point. I watched one of his videos that defensively or defending in PES hasn't really changed. They've added no new mechanics over the last couple of years. And I think that's a valid point. I do think Konami need to focus on the defending aspect as much as adding like new dribbling, new shooting. We need better defending as well. Because it is difficult. It is difficult on PES. But then again, you will get punished if you don't make the right smart decisions. So if you don't take your time, if you dive in on a player, you're going to lose out and then they're through on goal. And that's it. You just won't be able to get back quick enough. But yeah, there is still a little bit of work need to be done, I think, defensively by Konami on that end, because yeah, the jockeying is still something I'd like to see improved from what I played. It is a little bit sluggish, and yeah, that's certainly something. Good point, actually. A good point. It is quite difficult to defend, but I think we've all got used to it at this point in PES, really. Let's have a look here. What else do we have? Borcata says, do you think Neymar will return to Barcelona? He very well might. I think Neymar's had enough at PSG. He's had a lot of problems over there. I mean, he punched a fan, didn't he, one time? He's a bit of a nutcase, to be fair. And I think he needs to go back to a team that, I don't know, knows him better. Obviously, Barcelona, he has Messi. He's got Suarez. There's a lot of quality around him. So I think he will be on his way out. I don't understand players that go to PSG. It's a Mickey Mouse league. It's easy money. It's like Delict from Ajax was talking about going to Paris Saint-Germain. Why? You're 19 years of age, mate. Go and play in an established league, and then go and play in the French league when you're in your early 30s or something like Ibrahimovic did, because it is a pointless league. Anyway, whatever. Mr. X, do you have a VR headset and which brand? I do, right there. There it is. I've got the Samsung Odyssey Plus, the new one. And I'm not going to lie, I haven't really played it a ton. I know, I'm bad at it. I'm not bad at it. I'm bad at buying stuff and then not using it. I also have a wheel over there that I never use. I need to. But yeah, it's a good headset. It's better than the PlayStation VR. Not a fan of that one. The pixelation, the resolution was so bad. So there we go. Long live. Best player you've used ever in PES. I'm going to say Ronaldo, but not Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm talking about R9. Back in PES or even ISS, I remember he didn't really have the face. He just had the bald head, and it was Ronaldo in a nutshell. The guy was ridiculously fast. I used to use Brazil, go around my mates, absolutely annihilate them with him. So Ronaldo will always be one of my favorite players. Roberto Carlos was an absolute beast as well. Obviously, Adriano, when you could shoot from anywhere and that ball would fly in. I think that's what PES misses as well, is that long shot ability, the ability to absolutely smash a strike from 30-odd yards and watch it go in the back of the net. Unless you play on manual, the chances of you scoring from that range is very, very slim. Okay. Laughing Hyena, any tips to get the best out of Barca in PES? Honestly, going to PES League and watching them play, and I know they do play on a higher support, but they all play very narrow formations. And I have noticed that playing with Real Madrid, if you play more narrow, okay, so you don't want too much width, you can play better football. And obviously you have the option of getting out wide if you want to. But when I kept switching to a 4-3-3 with a left winger, a right winger, I wasn't creating as many chances. When I played with a centre forward with 2-second strikers pretty much, you play tick-a-tacker type football and you can create more. I would say play a narrow Barca formation, fast tempo in the final third. I normally play defensive, so I stick defensive trait, the advanced settings on a defensive midfielder. So he doesn't wander off. So you've got that little bit of cover at the back if you do go a little bit more gung-ho. Sometimes I'll play centering targets just so the crosses come in, tick attack as an option. But yeah, I would say play very narrow and fast, decisive football. And one thing you have to utilize on PES is using, I think, is it the L1 and the right, where you make players make runs. Always make players make runs. It's one thing that I like on PES that I hate on FIFA, is you can't make your players on FIFA make runs forward. They're just doing them, they have to do it themselves. Where on PES, you can say, all right, Hazard, on your bike, you press the button, he makes a run. So utilize that because it's a key thing. And if you watch PES League, you'll see it often. Okay, let's have a look here. Thoughts about in-game music for PES 2019 and expectations. I love the music last year from Vatsal. Once again, I switch it off. That's the thing. Because when I play PES, you guys see it. I don't have tons of time to sit there and play it off camera. I turn off all the music because I don't want to get done for copyright, etc. Although I could just mute it in the video editor. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say on the music. But it's got better. I mean, you guys remember back in the day when Konami had some almost porno-like music. Wasn't the best, but they've improved it. I think they just need more tracks because they get a little bit stale after a while. SAS30 says Spurs went to the final without Kane. How were they lucky? I never said they were lucky, or maybe I did, but I didn't mean in that regard. Honestly, I think Harry Kane is a little bit overrated at times. He's a good finisher. You know what I mean? But compare him to Son. Honestly, I think Son is a more complete player than Harry Kane. Because number one, Son's got a left foot and a right foot. He's quicker than Kane. He's I don't know. He's got more stamina than him. I think Harry Kane at times is overrated. Sue me for saying that. But that's why I don't think Tottenham missed him as much. Because they have players that can cover for him. Whereas Manchester United, look at them. If they lose a key player, who's going to replace, the likes of Lindelof at the back, who's been solid? No one. Smalling's not up there. Jones is always half asleep. I don't know. Let's have a look here. Kamlesh Melik says, honestly, what is the point of partnerships? They lose one and they gain another. See, that's the thing as well that people don't understand. Partnerships, licenses are sort of a year-by-year basis often. Now, I believe they signed Manchester United for a couple of years, and Liverpool was the same thing. So they'll get the full rights to a team for a couple of years. So they'll get the stadium, the faces are in there, all that stuff. But once that's done, if they don't renew it, then it's finished. And there's no reason why EA can't come in and take that license away from Konami. And it's happened. Even Konami have taken licenses away from FIFA. Barcelona, for example, I don't think the new camp is in FIFA because it's in PES. The Russian league was specifically for PES. It's just crazy. No one really ever understands when it comes to licenses. It's not as simple as just, oh, that's done. For every single, and I'll tell you this much, and I was told this while I was away at PES League, to talk to people, for them to get the players in the game, every single player has to sign a waiver, has to sign a form stating they want to be in the game. If they don't want to be in the game, etc., then their face has to be made and it's not going to be imported and scanned in. So just because they have the license of a team, it doesn't mean that every player is going to be scanned, because I don't know why you wouldn't want to be in a football game. I know if I was a footballer, I'd want to be in there. Why wouldn't you? But some players, they don't want to be in it. So there we go. Let's have a look. What else have we got from you guys? Defending is very unresponsive. It's a bit tricky at times. Kane is extremely inconsistent. I mean, he's not inconsistent in scoring goals, but sometimes he does get a little bit lost. Someone said, no, Harry Kane is the third best striker in the world. I definitely don't agree with that. There are plenty of forwards that do more than Harry Kane. I mean, and some that are very, very underrated. Let's have a look here. Let's see. Just you guys, some of you saying thank you. Thank you very much. Techno Knife says, is Juventus coming too? As I said, I can't announce, so I will not confirm or deny any licenses. You guys will have to wait and see, but you shouldn't have to wait long. There are going to be 3 extra teams in the demo, so you guys will have to know who those teams are before the demo is released, which obviously is the end of this month. T20 says, I'm leaving FIFA and joining PES this year. I've never been good at defending on PES, though. Have you got any tips? Don't, first of all, well done for leaving FIFA. I can't play FIFA. I just can't, but yeah, you guys know that. Defending, I use jockey. Okay, now this is what I do when I play PES. I use R2. Okay, right here. R2 is sprint. R1 is finesse dribble. I switched that up. In the new PES, you're going to be using the right stick to dribble. It's very different. It's very new. You're going to have to learn it. And obviously, you change player with L1. I use R2 a lot when I defend. This is the jockey button. This is what makes players obviously jockey back, trying to hold players up. As I said before in PES, if you make the wrong decision, it does take a split second for that player to get back sort of, where he was, or for you to get control of him. So you have to be 100% accurate. And this is why even the pros will concede goals for fun sometimes, because it's ruthless. It really is. So use the jockey button and just literally try and hold up players. Use the man marking options in the tactics as well. Use tight marking if you need to. Tight marking can be one thing that works, but then again, if you're tight marking a forward and your defender just stays with him the whole time, there's going to be a huge hole behind him. It's kind of one of those things. You just got to play PES. I'd say put it on a lower difficulty and just get better and better until you can get it up there. But look, when you play the AI on the high difficulties, if they want to score a goal, sometimes you can't do anything about it. You can't. They're going to score. That's why when people crack me up when they're always like, you suck at defending, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. That's the game. It happens in every game you play. And not just PES, I mean, other games as well. Let's have a look here. What do we have? Sorry. These comments are scrolling. Javi smack my face in there. Smack myself in the face. Javi Zavala says, how stoked are you that Man United is being licensed? Oh, yeah. I'm very, very happy, to be fair, purely because Rashford now has a face that doesn't look like a serial killer. Obviously, Old Trafford's in there. And, I'm looking forward to it. It was a good decision, I think, from Konami. But we know they had Man United before, and they lost the license, obviously, and they got it back. So that's the way licenses work. They're mad. Absolutely mental. Okay, let's see. King Roya, can we still buy Mbappe for 30 million? Well, I hope not. And that's one of those things that we haven't seen in action. From what I've been hearing and talking to people, they say that, the transfers are realistic. I mean, we've heard that before, though. So, yeah, I really hope Mbappe is not 30 million. Whack on another 100 million to that, 130, 150. Transfers now are stupid. They are ridiculous. I mean, come on. You've got even players like De Ligt. How much was he? 80-odd million? Oh, not more than that? Oh, not De Ligt. Sorry, Felix just went to Atletico Madrid for, 120-odd? I mean, come on. The guy's 19. He's had one good season. Yeah, now he's worth 100 million. I don't get transfers. They are stupidly overrated in every sense of the word. Okay. Let's see what we have. The 1-2 pass is way OP in this game. I mean, they are. But that's the thing. When I play PES 2020, because it's a slower pace, it's going to be a lot harder. Now, it could change, and that's the thing. It could change. But it's going to be a lot harder for you to do ticker all the way up the field. Because, trust me, it is as well when it comes to lower teams. When I played with Palmeiras compared to Arsenal, massive difference. Massive difference. Palmeiras, I made a lot of errors playing on Pass Support 1, whereas Arsenal, not as many. But, things could change. Mohammed says, by the way, I always wanted to know, you're commentating while you're playing, or you're just commentating over the video after you've finished recording? All right, I'm going to reveal the secret. No, I do actually, and this is the thing people don't realize, I commentate whilst I'm playing. Number one, for me, it's quicker to do that. And I'm also more engaged in the match, right? Because if I'm playing and I score a goal, I'm like, I actually have a little bit of relief and enjoyment and excitement. So my voice is going to sound more predominant and more involved. Whereas if I'm recording afterwards, I know the result, I know what's going to happen. I could do it that way. I used to do it that way many years ago, but I stopped. So everything you hear is live commentary. If I mess up, it's because I'm trying to play and commentate at the same time. So there you go, Mohammed. Now you know. All right. Jotan TV, what's the most memorable season of Master League you ever played and why? Ooh, that's a tough one because I've played a lot. A lot of people enjoyed my Leicester City one, which was quite fun. Remember, what was that? PES 2017 now? Because obviously I've done a lot of Manchester United because I am a huge United fan, but I really don't have a most memorable season. Back in the day, I'd sit down and, like I said, I used to play with Roma a lot, and I used to just keep playing season after season after season. I also had a few, I had a few Master Leagues where I would start with the crappy team, the default players, and try and build that up, and it took a lot of work. So, yeah, I don't really have a real memorable season. I have a lot of different ones with, that's the thing about Master League. They're all different. Everything. Oh, sorry, I was going to belch. Everything can happen, except the kitchen sink, pretty much. So, yeah, they've all been fun. King Rowett, would we ever see Stadium Editor again? I would hope so. I mean, literally, really would love a Stadium Editor to come back, even if it's pretty generic. Like, gives us the option. I really hope in PES, whenever the next PES comes out and the PS5 and the new Xbox are out, Konami can't really complain about, the horsepower under the hood of a PS5. It's going to be a beast of a machine. It simply is. If you've seen the load times, they're like that. They're instantaneous. Load real quick. So I don't think they can have an excuse about a Stadium Editor when the new consoles come out. But they really need to bring it in because that would rectify a lot of problems that people have with playing in the same stadiums, etc., over and over again. Laughing Hyena, have you heard of Spoony Pizzas? He is good at PES and he does a lot of tutorials. Yeah, I've watched some of his videos. I never comment on videos. I'm just kind of like that. But yeah, I've seen his videos. He does do a good job. He plays it a lot, which is good. He certainly plays it more than I do. He's got a lot more time, I guess, on his hands, which is good though, because he's getting a good amount of views and subscribers, and he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. But yeah, he's got some good tutorials, and I have heard of him. Let's have a look. Fav Dan, do you think United will sign Bruno Fernandes? Yeah, I know there's a little bit of talk about that, but once again, it's up in the air. You don't know with Manchester United. I mean, this season, before the season ended or just after it ended, right? It was like, oh, Man United are going to get rid of 9 players. He's going to go and he's going to go. Who's left? Who's actually left Manchester United? Except for Herrera, who was actually a player that played for the shirt and not for the paycheck. He actually did work his socks off. And I can fully understand his decision to leave Manchester United because they are right now, it's a shit show. It is. It's a nightmare for them. Man United have no one wants to go to Manchester United. A, they're a mess. B, there's no Champions League football. C, they're not winning titles. I mean, would you rather go to Man United right now or Manchester City? Everyone's going to City because they're just winning constantly. And, Pep Guardiola, as painful as it is for me to say, is a phenomenal manager. He gets the best out of players. Yes, he's had a lot of money to spend, but Man United have spent money. Mourinho spent money. Klopp is a manager Klopp is unbelievable. You talk about a manager with everything, he has it all. He has the chemistry with his players. When you listen to his post interviews, his interviews with everyone else, the media, he's funny. He's engaging. He's just a great manager. I would love Klopp, but unfortunately, he's doing the business at Liverpool, and credit to him. Okay, what else do we have? Let's see. NYC Moore says, how do you feel about Master League Remastered? Well, we'll see. I've seen snippets. It looks better, but it's one of those things. Time will tell. Let's see. We had one here from... I don't know where it's gone now. It's disappeared. English Mastiff, do you think Konami will use a new engine on PS5? I think they have to. Just like FIFA has to bring a new engine out for their game, because it's getting to that point now where, dribbling has become, a little bit robotic. I think people know that. I think they do need a fully fledged, whether they use an Unreal Engine, whether they use something else. The Fox engine is actually good at what it does. But yeah, I think PS5, they've got to bring something completely fresh, completely new, and just re-gut it. But it's a gamble, isn't it? Because we saw how bad really PES 2014 was to 13. I mean, it was shocking. Really was shocking. So if Konami have to take a few extra years, then do it. Don't give us a half-assed, incomplete game with too many problems. Okie dokie. What else do we have here? Konami tend to only have 2 licensed premium teams in the game. Looks like it'll be Arsenal and United. Yes, that's pretty much the way things have gone. So that's good. I believe David Fish is in here, is he? Greetings, Mr. Fish. I did briefly see him. What's the name? I've lost my thought. At PES League. So it's good to see him there. He did mention if they still plan to announce more classic Master League managers, reckon we could see the likes of Costello, etc., as managers. We could. I think it's going to be more a case of actual legends that we know. So obviously Maradona. I think you're looking at managers in Master League that they already have the rights for. So, Beckham could be an option. Have him as a manager. Be quite funny. Who are the other players that they have licensed? We've seen the likes of, my brain's gone dead now. Oliver Kahn. Imagine Oliver Kahn as a manager. He could be a manager. They might stick him in there. Sir Alex Ferguson as a legend manager would be phenomenal. I very much doubt they have the rights, though, for him. I know someone mentioned Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But I can't see that happening either. We'll see. Let's have a look. What else do we have? Hey, true to the Britain. Nice name there. Do players like Ronaldinho dribbling to superstar in PES 2020? I can't really recall what that means. So what I've seen so far, AI is the same as PES 2019. I mean, that's the thing as well. You've got to play the game against the AI. Videos never do a game justice in any sense of the word. Number one, it will look faster because when they upload the video, the compress rate, the bit rate, all that, FPS, it all comes into play. So you watch a video and you're like, it doesn't look great. It looks fast. It looks this. It looks that. Because it's a video. Play it on your monitor. If you've got 144 hertz, 60 FPS, it's going to look, or whatever else, it's going to look different. It's going to look better as well from a video. But yeah, I mean, one thing I would like to see the AI do is dribble more. Of course, players like Ronaldinho should be doing tricks, this, that, and the other. I think Barry, the Midnight Kid, did mention that the AI do dribble a little bit more. I mean, I saw a fantastic goal from Batistuta. Batistuta apparently is a ridiculous beast. So if you pick him up in my club, he could be an absolute gem. Here we go. Borkata. I know you're a massive Man United fan. Do you remember Berbatov? And do you think he was a good player but was neglected a bit? Berbatov was the laziest but most ridiculously gifted player ever. I mean, that guy never looked like he could give a rat's ass about anything. But his touch on the ball, his ability to control it, dribble with it, he could literally get a ball and say, I'm gonna bend this top corner, and he would. Berbatov. I enjoyed watching Berbatov play when he was, you know, actually trying, but he was just one of those players. But I'd still stick him in the Man United team nowadays, and he would do a better job than half the players that are in there. So yeah, did love Berbatov. Was certainly a good player. I did see something about losing Old Trafford, but the chat's just gone straight down there. Okay, we're going to have to sum this up shortly. Probably do another 10 or so minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So crank out the questions. All right, I'm going to do live chat because I think I had it on top chat. Let's see. Gordon Noana, any idea why PES does not have something similar to goal decision system adds to the drama? Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, all of that stuff is cosmetic. It is on FIFA, right? If it says it's a goal, it's already pre-programmed. It's already been done. All they're doing is bringing it back, showing it. But no, it's not going to have an error. This is the AI we're talking about. This is the artificial intelligence of the game. So if the ball goes in, it's in. It's all cosmetic. It would be nice to have, goal line technology and VAR, although VAR sometimes is a joke. So yeah, I think it's all fun and games, but at the end of the day, it's cosmetic, and it's not something they have to do right now, Konami. But they could very well do it later on. Dan says, do you think the Bundesliga could come as the English league with only 2 or 3 licensed teams? Well, obviously they never really had the Bundesliga, Konami. But all the licenses and stuff are going to be announced. You really just have to wait, because the thing about licenses is they can happen last minute. Look at Borussia Dortmund last year. They were in the game. The fact that they scheduled them in there, they had everything sorted. They had the stadium was in there, everything. And then all of a sudden, Borussia Dortmund broke their contract and went to FIFA instead, purely probably because of the money. Ridiculous and childish, but that's what can happen with licenses. They can change on a whim. So I would literally keep up to date with them and then see what happens. So there we go. Bubba says, hi, Brits. How are you? I'm good. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful day in Florida. It's 105. It's ridiculously hot. What tips do you have for me to beat CPU on Legend? I want the 5-star agent in my club, but I can't beat them. I mean, you're probably better off asking the likes of David Fish and stuff who've probably done that challenge. Legend, for me, is just a cheat fest. And I play on PC with a different DT file. But it's pretty much score a goal on Legend and then try and keep the ball. Or score a goal and then play super, super defensive. If you want to ask me a question, by the way, tag me in it, like Deepa just did there with the True Brits, so I can actually see the question. It makes it easier for me. So, yeah, I would literally try and score a goal and defend. Stick 5 at the back. Job done. Are you drinking Vimto? I mean, it looks like Vimto. To be fair, no, this is actually BCAA's. Bit of a... I don't know what flavor this is. It's pretty good. It's like watermelon or something. I've mixed it in with sparkling water. But I do love Vimto. So I'm not saying I don't. I love Vimto. Kamlesh, will you focus on Master League or My Club? Come on. We all know the answer to that one. And you guys, this is the thing, right? I put a Master League video out. I put a My Club. You guys rarely watch My Club. You guys know me not for My Club. I don't think you guys would enjoy it. I might do the odd snippet. Depends how good My Club is and how well they've sort of enhanced it this year. Because I know a lot of people, Seppo, obviously David Fish, even Barry the Midnight Kid, the list goes on and on. People that play online non-stop, they want something new and exciting in My Club. Really, they have to focus on that as well. That's where the majority of the revenue comes from for Konami. So hopefully we'll see some My Club talk, but it's good to see that they have focused on Master League and they haven't just ignored it. Let's have a look here. Gordon just says, keep up the awesome work. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Class on Bread said, what if goal line tech was there and some goals would be an error decision by the AI? Yeah, I mean, I would like wrong decisions to be made, because It's fun, right? Random. And that's the thing on PES, right? Because it's almost like the referees are so bad. Half the time the decisions are wrong. So you have that. And I would also like to have, I don't know if FIFA had it before, but you pick a referee before the match. There's an option, Konami. Let us pick a referee because we always get the same one. Thomas Muller's been my referee for many of my games. But have an option, strict, lenient, different sort of categories for referees that have their own independence, almost like watchdogs. You have all these different characters with all different personality traits. So have a strict ref, a lenient ref, one that's known for giving yellows, one's known for giving reds, and you've got to be a little bit more on your guard. There you go. There's an option. What do we else here? What else do we have here? That's the one. Michael Stanhope, do you think the slowing of pace will put people off? And if so, do you think they will speed the game up again? No, I don't think so, because I think if you keep the game, one pace when it comes out, and then, look, if people get used to the demo and they enjoy it and no one says speed it up, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Konami, and in this day and age, there is no excuse for patches that are available. So if it is too slow, go in the code and add a little bit whatever needs to be done to speed it up. And then when the game comes out, release a patch, tweak it. There we go. Look at FIFA. How many patches do they put out? Every single week, there's a big, long list of stuff that's being tweaked. And I'm sure the game is not the same speed as when it was released. But I like the pace of PES 2020 from what I saw. And hopefully the demo will be very, very similar. Okay. I've just scrolled down. Every time I do that, it just goes straight to the bottom. I just subbed. Thank you very much. Just do it. Just sub when you can. We're trying to hit 100,000. I'm still 25,000 away. Alex Hall, what do you think about Newcastle? I think we will get relegated now. Yeah, ridiculous decision. I know a lot of people pissed off. Chris Tunn, one of the guys at PES League, was a Newcastle fan, wasn't too happy about it as well. So, yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't understand half the decision. There was another manager that got fired. Was it the Brighton manager? Brighton and Hove Albion? Why? What do they expect from Brighton and Hove Albion? Do you expect them to win the league? No. They're in the Premier League. Enjoy it. If that's the manager. I can't remember the manager now. Laughing Hyena, where in Florida do you live? I live just outside Orlando. So not in the heart of the terrorists. Terrorists? I just said terrorists. Tourists. Jeez, not even close to the same word. Not in the heart of the tourist city or Touristville. Just about 45 minutes away. So yeah, it's a nice place to live, but it's hot. James McViva says, sorry, I butchered the name there. Do you know anything about the new dialogue system and about any new news? I've seen snippets of it. It's pretty much what you have been told. They can affect different decisions on what happens throughout the course of your career. Pretty much. So I don't want to say too much. I don't want to get told off, but they'll announce more. But the new dialogue is pretty much picking options and sort of like an RPG element, but obviously not as deep. I mean, it's a football game at the end of the day, so the majority of the stuff is played on the pitch, but your decisions could have an effect. Let's just say that. Imran, do you think PES 2020 could do better or done better when it comes to the stamina of the players, as it seems the players don't really get tired from the videos I've seen? I mean, yeah, I don't really know. I'd have to play it. I think stamina, I don't know how well stamina works, because it's almost like sometimes all the players' stamina depletes at the same time. After the hour mark, 70 minutes, everyone's knackered, whether you've been running or not. So I think they certainly could work on the stamina. It's something that certainly added a new element this year with it being improved. So hopefully they improve it further. Longer Hauler, do you play on pass support 0 or 1? I just play on 1. If I was doing my own Master League off camera, I'd probably play on manual. But manual is very, very difficult. Very, very hard to master. I think 1 is decent. I still think 1 could be a little bit more What's the word? You could have more error, on one just to make it better. You know what they need? They need a mixture of 0 and 1, like a 0.5, right in between. There we go. Avant-Garde Films says, do you think Master League improvements are exaggerated? I mean, exaggerated, maybe harsh, but they're trying to obviously showcase. I think some of them are a little bit excessive because they've mentioned sort of transfers being realistic for many years now, but they never are. So they're kind of just putting that out there. And if you're going to state that, then follow through with it. But they're just trying to, get the point across of what they've improved. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of bloating in there and bigging things up that some people may not agree with, but it's all marketing. It's part of the game. It's part of business. And there we go. Amar Beck, what gameplay do you use for PES 2019? What do you mean, DT file? I probably should leave the link. I can't remember. I've tried so many. I like this one because there's a little bit of error. I've scored goals from long range as well, which doesn't happen too often. So yeah, I'll have to leave the link one day in the description. Any news about Become a Legend? Nope, stated that before. There's nothing. You'll have to wait for that one. Do sign. What will happen to your other channel, TTB Online? I've never used it. I don't know why I started it. I thought I'd try and separate the two, but it's a waste of time. It really is. I don't bother with it. So if I'm going to do online gameplay, then I'll just use this channel. At the end of the day, TheTrueBrits is my main channel. It's what I want to focus on. I'm nowhere near big enough to start making numerous channels. You make dumb decisions sometimes late at night. And that was one of them. Kaka says, I like your moaning on my club. Well, that's why we've got Lely, isn't it? We can follow him and laugh at him online, Kaka. But yeah, it is sometimes fun to have a bit of a scream and a moaning fest. But there we go. T20 said, cheers for those tips. Wanted to know why Rashford is 180 centimeters in game. He's over 6'2" in real life. Is he really that tall? Is he? I've got to Google this now. Rashford. I did not know Rashford was 6'2". He's 5'11". That's why. No, have a look here. Marcus Rashford, 5'11". Yeah, he's definitely not 6'2". So I don't know who told you that one, but yeah, they do need to fix some of the heights. They're not always correct. Minimize that because that's bright. Do you think handballs will be added? James McVicker. Absolutely not. Let's not even bother with it. That was one thing in FIFA that I switched off as soon as I could. It's just pointless. I know it can happen, but if you're going to put a handball in the game, that coding has to be spot on. I mean, absolutely accurate. And I think maybe with a new engine, you could start adding that. But with the current engines, no. FIFA, it doesn't work. And I don't think it will work in PES. Borkata, right, final few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, because I need to get down the gym. Do you think that no, done that one already. What was the one I was looking at? Ricky from Borkata, was PES your first football game or was it FIFA? No, I think it was PES. It was PES, and then I didn't buy a FIFA game after that since FIFA. No, I bought FIFA 2000, or my dad bought it for me one day. I actually did a tournament for FIFA 2000. That was the game that you could literally spam skill moves. Like you could do Maradonas all the way to the goal and tap it in. I was playing in a tournament. I was like 12 years old, and I ended up finishing second place. I think I was beating everyone 10-0, 11-0, 12-0, 12-2. All I was doing was spamming tricks non-stop. So FIFA 2000, I actually won a little cup. I finished second. I was happy with myself. But then I didn't pick up a FIFA game till FIFA 2008. When that game was actually pretty solid. And PES 2008 was horrendous. So I probably played FIFA more that year, but definitely always been a fan of PES without question. All right, one more last question, ladies and gentlemen, and then I have to roll. I appreciate you guys for watching me blabber on. Let's see what we've got here. Finish on a decent one. Now, this wasn't a bad one from James again. Do you think they will get rid of the stupid thing where players will retire and come back as 16-year-olds? It's just ridiculous. Yes, I agree. And I also think they should have an option to remove it. Look, this time around in Master League, I'll tell you this much, and I think it's been clarified as well. You will have the option of, and it's big news, not having transfers at the start of your Master League if you want to. Okay. So that means if you want the real life transfers and you don't want any transfers till January, you have the option in PES for the first time ever to be able to do that. That's huge, because I don't want, Tony Kroos from Real Madrid going to Arsenal at the start of my Master League. I don't want that stuff to happen. It's stupid. So we'll have the option to do that. So that's huge. And having the option to turn off retired players coming back young, have that as well as an option, because it is annoying and ridiculous to see a 16-year-old Zidane. You know what I mean? I mean, he's already retired, but someone like De Gea, you play a long one and then suddenly you've got a 16-year-old De Gea. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. So, yeah, just having the option to do that is a massive plus. And there's also one other thing in Master League. I believe, were we told this, that you could literally, I think Adam tweeted it, you could choose your own transfer budget before you start a Master League with whoever you are. And I was thinking, well, how's that going to work? If you're Stoke City, you mean you could give yourself 100 million? But then I'm thinking as well, like, okay, but it does give you the option of choosing how you want to start out. So if you want to start with a really low team but have a massive transfer budget, it doesn't mean you're going to get every player, because not every player wants to play for a crappy team, right? But at least you have the option to give yourself a realistic transfer budget, because it changes all the time. So if I'm Man United, I can say, all right, here's 200 million, go and splash the cash. Whereas PES would probably say, well, here's 40 million. Man United spend way more than that, and it's not realistic. So yeah, these are still little things that we'll learn about the game, but there's still time for Konami to change things and everything else. So there we go. Can I get your email? All right, this is my email if you guys want my email. I'll whack it in here. Just don't send me any sex pics. I don't need them. No, I wouldn't trust you guys would do that, because that's kind of weird. Boom, there it is. So there's my email if you need it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to go now. That's about an hour of me blabbering. If you missed it, it will be up for stream later, so you guys can rewatch this if you'd like. If you don't want to, not a problem. But yeah, tomorrow, Master League will return. It returned. Did I put a video out today? I did. So I'll have Master League tomorrow. Sunday, I think I've got the Copa del Rey. And let me tell you this much. This game you guys are going to see, it's 2 matches actually, is ridiculous. Madness. Probably one of the best games so far. In fact, I lost my voice, I think, commentating. So, next level. If you have any videos as well you'd like me to dissect, hit me up in that video. Hit me up in that email. And I'll see if I like the video, if I want to dissect it. But as I said before, I don't want to put out videos for the sake of it and bore you guys with the same stuff, because unless we play the demo, we really can't tell the difference between how well that AI plays. Has this been fixed? Has that been fixed? So there we go. Anyway, have a great guy. See, now I'm running out of words to say, and I've lost my voice because I haven't lost my voice, but I've been talking too much. I haven't drunk enough of this. Anyway, let's not spam the email. Yeah, don't worry. We've got a spam block on there for a reason. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah, tomorrow, Master League, Sunday, Master League, and enjoy the rest of your weekend starting today. See you guys later. Peace.